Welcome back to Veteran Idiot. I'm Art, and forgive me for my Friday leisure, but it's because I got a surprise for you guys. It's right outside. Let's go check it out. Ooh. You guys didn't think that we would leave without getting another one, right? Look at her. Don't look at that tire over there. That thing is terrible. I cannot wait to clean this thing up. So I'm going to skip around a little bit here, usually to get the engine running and then clean up the outside so we can take it for test drive. But I'm going to take advantage of this semi-cloudy day and the fact that I really want to see what's underneath all this dried crap and clean it up. Got the dishes for the rallies all the way around. That one's off because this tire was going to rip it apart. I think it's going to look great. Let's go ahead and get started. Like somebody did some spectacular masking when they did the mint color on here. It's a Chevrolet, maybe it's French. I was pressure washing it, but it's pretty thick up here on top.
That's what she said.
So I'm gonna get those SOS pads and try it. Tiny critter hands crawling all over this thing. Anyway, so I'm gonna hit it with some SOS pads and get it all cleaned up. So it's getting kind of windy out here, getting a bit of a dust storm. Looks like maybe an actual storm rolling in. Horses are all turned up. All right, so one side of it got the SOS pad where we cleaned all the oxidized paint off of it. Side, no. Maybe do the rest of the hood and then call it a day because I think the storm's rolling in. Well, we're getting shut down for weather. Starting to sprinkle a little bit here. Got some of it SOS padded. Looks pretty good. Paint job real cheap. Showing through on some spots. Around the lights. They did a kind of a backyard masking tape. But get back at it tomorrow. And start digging into this in here. I'm really excited about this. This is looks pretty bad right now, but it's actually really, really nice. Floor looks good. Seat's just gonna get a cover. It needs some headrests. I don't know if you guys know anything about that, but you get rear-ended with these big back windows, your head goes through the window. But looks good. I'm excited. Welcome back. It's the next day. The storm has passed. Now it's time to start this thing. Got to steal the new battery out of Oscar. I'm going to throw it in and give it a valiant effort this afternoon to get this thing fired up. And maybe pull it out from the middle of my driveway. Well, that's going to be a problem. Wow. All right, let's see what we got here. There's the harness running across the engine rather than behind the radiator where it normally goes. So it runs over the top. PCV, some sort, we're just gonna throw that over there. This one's not even hooked up. Maybe it went in there. Oh God, what am I looking at? It's running down there. I just need to make sure there's no vacuum leaks to the carburetor. I don't need all this other crap. I don't even know what it does. That's a definite vacuum leak, but I don't know where it went. There's nothing. Where the hell is... There we go. Let's go over here. That goes right there on this thing. Where that thing goes from there, I have no freaking idea. Looks like it goes down to maybe the transmission. It does. All right. So these must not have a TV cable. I'm not sure how they work. I don't know the Chevy things. I don't know anything about it. I don't know. All right. That's not gonna work. Push that on further so it doesn't work anymore. It's still not working. Let's get a new vacuum line for that one. This carburetor. Does the butterfly even turn? What do we got here? Choke work? What's the story here? Oh, it's wired shut. Or wired open. Alright, whatever. We'll just give it a try. Throw a new vacuum line on that one over there. And go from there. Just... Oh, wow. This is special. I'm gonna bring you in to check this out. This, kids, is what you don't do. Look at the alignment on that sucker. Got about 75 washers in there. It still didn't help out. Whew. Yeah, well, get what you get. All right, so replace that vacuum line. Chased as much as I could with the rest of the vacuum lines. I think we're ready just to see if it'll crank. I know the engine will rotate. I spun it with my hands earlier. Now it's just a matter of whether the starter will do it. Let's give it a try. Alright, so I don't know much of anything about this engine that's in here other than it's a smog engine, so like late 70s, early 80s. Just a complete disaster of vacuum lines. Disgusting. So let's just crank it over. Got this brand new battery out of Oscar. It was dead. I don't know what's going on with that. He's got some sort of draw. Figure that out later. All right, every wire in here is black. That's good. Okay. Goes down to the starter, so we'll call that one a positive. This one goes down to the frame. Oh, there's so many spider webs. Well, all right, what is going on? What the hell? There's baling wire held on the other side of this up. Let's throw the boiler back on. Maybe it'll crank up. But first, let's track down some of this stuff. Get a good ground over here and clean away some of these cobwebs. Holy crap. There's just vacuum lines on top of vacuum lines on top of vacuum lines. This vacuum line goes to that vacuum line. And then that vacuum line goes to this vacuum line. This one's not even hooked up to anything. Oh. All right, squirt some stuff down it. See if she fires off. All right. What? Sorry, I am completely shocked that that just turned over and fired. I was expecting to sit out here for 4 days trying to figure this vacuum disgustingness up. Let's hook some fuel to it, huh? I don't know if it's got oil pressure, by the way. Was too excited to look down at the gauge. We'll hook some fuel to it, see what we got for oil pressure. I'm gonna actually crank it a little bit more without throwing some fuel in there, build up some oil pressure, get them moved around before we actually go and fire this thing off. Are we pulling any fuel up into the filter? Oh my god, that thing is disgusting. I don't think so. I don't see anything yet. There's a crack in that hose. There's a good chance that it's actually not sucking anything up. Alright, fuel line's directly into the can now. Let's see if we can get this pump to pull it up. Hopefully the diaphragm's not shot and it'll pull right up in here. Oh, still nothing. Concerning. Concerned look. Alright, so I don't think we're pulling up any fuel. There's a bunch of cracks in this line, and it's got one of those POS glass filters on here. So I'm going to go ahead and change that. I'm actually just going to pull the line off of the fuel pump and connect it straight in, because I know the gas in this gas tank is pristine. I just filled it up. That's what we'll go with for right now. See if we can pull up some fuel into this carburetor. That's incredible. Freaking purring. Unbelievable. Go ahead and shut it off. Check the oil. That's a score right there. Huh. Still stuck on the carburetor. Win. Alright, so I fixed the vacuum leaks as best I can. Some of this stuff is just going to need to disappear. But I fixed it the best I can and threw some coolant in it. Checked the oil again. Oil's good to go. Still has pretty good viscosity. It looks really clean actually, like maybe they just changed it. So what we're going to do is fire it back up, see if I can get oil pressure inside as far as a reading. Get it warmed up, see if it goes forward or backwards, and see if the coolant's flowing. Think no oil pressure reading. There is a ton of radiator stop leaks in here. Looks like straight mud. Ooh, that's special. Let's see what the transmission's telling us. extra dry. It goes into gear, goes backwards and forwards. Exciting stuff. There's a bunch of stuff burning off at the engine over here. Somebody's critter home or something. And there is just a disaster over there. Rocket engine. Need to get some transmission fluid. The brakes go straight to the floor, so it looks like some of the brake lines were replaced in the back already, so maybe they just didn't bleed them. I didn't check it. I need to check the fluid. Alright, so here's where we stand with this thing. I don't have a temperature reading. I don't have oil pressure reading. It's flowing coolant. Hoses are really hot. So I'm gonna check around, see if I can't get a oil pressure or coolant temperature of some sort. And a very strange thing, its boots were bouncing in and out as it was running. It's odd, I've never seen anything like that before. I can't believe it's running. I didn't think this thing was gonna run right away. All right, so let's see if we can get some engine temperature and some oil pressure readings. Maybe we can move this thing a little bit, even with those crap tires on there. So I had to rinse it off. It was just too disgusting. There was so many spider webs and grease all over everything. So there is no line for the oil pressure, and I'm not exactly sure which wire underneath the dash for the original oil pressure gauge is. So at this point, it's running. There's no clattering. I'm going to assume there's enough oil pressure. And honestly, we don't really care about this engine. It's really a boat anchor. What we're looking to do is we're going to re-yank this thing out of here, and we'll probably put a 400 in it, or we got an LS as well, so we may throw that in there. Let us know what you think we should do. 400 LS, leave this piece of crap Smog inline 6 in here. What I'm going to do is I'm pumping up the tire right now. That's what you hear in the background. Going to try and move it around, see if maybe I can get it into the shop where it's cooler, and then we'll mess with the brakes and stuff like that. I don't know that I'm going to be able to get it into the shop. This tire is just, it holds air really well, but I think everything else works other than the brakes, but we'll see if it gets there. She runs. Yeah. Well, against all odds, it runs. Got the fuel figured out. Power steering, I don't think it's going to make it. There is actually a piece of wood wedged down in between the pump and the mount to keep it at that weird angle. It doesn't run well, and I don't think we're going to throw more money into this thing to get it to that point. So either 400 or LS. What do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments. I think we're going to end it here today with that, with it running and moving. So tune in next time. We're going to throw some tires on this thing, throw some gauges in it so we can see the oil pressure and the temperature, and see if we can get it out on the highway and if it'll do turbo 400 things. See you next time.